The driving question for this video is, what is the impact of a single moment on a life, and how do our choices reveal our character? In the book 102 Minutes, written by Jim Dwyer and Kevin Flynn, a book about the people inside the Twin Towers during 9/11. Here, with the cover of 102 Minutes, you see Abe Zamowitz and Ed Bayou working side by side. There were two characters named Ed Bayou and Abe Zamowitz. Ed and Abe were friends, and they were both in the building when the North Tower went down, but one thing you may not have known is that Zamowitz didn't have to die. He could possibly still be alive today, but Ed was handicapped. So Abe said, "No, I'm staying with my friend." He was determined to walk out of that building alive with his friend by his side. He also stated Zamowitz could have left much earlier, but the fire upstairs in the North Tower seemed far away, the danger distant. Meaning, he wasn't going to leave without Ed. This reveals his true character as heroic and brave and willing to risk his life for his true friends. Another example will be from the book Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. In this book, two characters, Lenny, a mentally talented man, and George, the man who watches over Lenny, go through life-changing events. George says, "For 2 bids I'd shove out here. If we can get just a few dollars in the poke, we'll shove off and go up the American River and pan gold." George is telling Lenny that if they raise enough money, they can leave, presenting the fact that George isn't the tough-skinned, uptight guy you think he is. Another scene would be, and George raised the gun and steadied it and brought the muzzle close to the back of Lenny's head. The hand shook violently, but his face set and his hand steadied. He pulled the trigger. As you can tell, this is from the end of the book when George made a decision to kill Lenny, so he wouldn't hurt anybody else, emphasizing the fact that when it came down to making the tough choices, George is not afraid to make them. Anyone around Lenny is in danger as long as he's alive.
Our supplemental text comes from the book 101 Greatest American Poems. The first quote is out of the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost.
In this poem, the poet describes how there was a fork in the road with 2 trails branching out from it. The first trail was overgrown and no human had ever traveled it.
The second trail was won upon, and it seemed to the poet that everyone took it. Frost then had to decide which trail to take. He reveals what trail he took in the end. Quote, "I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood. And I took the one less traveled by, and this made all the difference." This is found on pages 49 through 50. In this poem, Frost shows the reader that he had to make a decision in life that would impact him forever. The choice was unchangeable, although Frost did not tell the reader specifically what he had to choose. In the end, we see him say that he did not regret his decision, and although his life was more tough, it was not mundane. His choice in doing this shows that his character possesses bravery seen by him taking the unsure path, and curiosity revealed by him wanting to see what is on the untraveled trail.
The poem also shows that he realizes that his choice is permanent. Quote, "And both that morning equally lay, and leaves not step had trodden black. Oh, I keep the first from another day, yet no." This reveals to the reader that Frost has a mature personality. He understands his actions do have permanent consequences. Marlee Matlin was born in 1965, who lost her hearing at a young age. Despite this major life impact, she is a well-known actress who got her fame featuring in the film Children of a Lesser God. Even if one single situation in your life can seem like it will impact your life and your dreams in a negative way, you can instead accept it and not let it define you. Matlin was determined to fulfill her dreams, to still act even when her situation looked like it would destroy her dream, but she was determined to prove that she could do what other people called impossible. In conclusion, a single moment in life does impact someone's life in the latter. This is shown in Marlee Matlin's life, Zamowitz and Bayou's situation, the author Frost in this poem, and in George's and Lenny's final moments together. All these situations back up the fact when you take action in an event, the action will reveal a part of your character. Whether it's negative or positive, bad or good, right or wrong, in all these situations we have covered, all the characters are doing something with their best intentions in mind.